Good day, everyone. My name is Edwin Allen. I wanted to share with you my thoughts on educational technology and the role that it plays in today's 21st century learning experience. So I want to start off by saying that I do think that technology plays a vital role in today's teaching and learning, especially with the research showing that students' attention spans are 10 minutes or less when it comes to in-class instruction. That means that teachers really have to think about some of the tasks and some of the learning experiences they are doing in their classrooms. And technology plays a role because since our digital learners are embedded with technology throughout their day and at home, it would be very vital for teachers to capitalize and use some of the educational technology and tools that are out there to enhance the teaching and learning within our classrooms. I wanted to start off with some pros and cons for using educational technology in our classrooms today. Obviously, since our students are very equipped and very well versed with using cell phones, iPads, computers for the most part, motivation is a big pro for incorporating educational technology within the classrooms. It's also going to increase engagement, lots of research around increased engagement, not just in lower education, but also in higher level education and in the workforce. It's also a great tool for teachers to use for formative data. Teachers can get that data and make in the moment decisions on how to differentiate, make groups, and things of that nature. A couple of cons, obviously, accessibility, not just at home for students, but also at school. Sometimes some communities may not be equipped with some of the the internet capability that they need to access the internet, the reliability of the Wi-Fi, and also training for teachers. Some teachers, especially teachers who may have been teaching for 2 or more decades, may not be as privy or as trained to incorporate or feel comfortable with incorporating technology during their teaching and learning.
So the first educational tool or application I want to talk about or speak about is Nearpod. So Nearpod I've actually used a lot of times for professional developments, but it's also very good for classroom instruction. This is the website where you see the homepage, and you can see straight off some of the resources that teachers can partake in as far as live webinars, how to get started, resources for administrators and teachers, blogs in the community. So I just also want to talk about quickly connectivity. You don't need anything other than your internet. One great thing about Nearpod that's different from the other 2 applications I'm going to speak about is that you can control the presentations from your phone. So basically you can move the slides by just sliding your finger across your iPad or your cell phone or whatever device you're using. And students and whoever you're presenting to will all follow. Just taking you through the Nearpod application, you can choose different plans as far as the pay. They have a free membership, but obviously it's very limited. But it is a nice start to your work with using Nearpod. There's also a gold and a platinum and the premium plus that you can also use. The integration, again, Windows, Android, iOS, all of those are compatible with Nearpod. I want to take you to my particular Nearpod application. So when you go into your own, if you decide to open up an account, and actually I'm a gold member, but a lot of these things I'm going to show you, you can do as a just a free subscriber. So here you can see I have my saved different lessons that I've done for PDs and for school. And then when you go under create, you can create lessons, videos, activities, and things of that nature. I'm just going to go under create a lesson. And then you can also look at all the different things that you can do with the lessons here. I'm going to go to interactive because this is what's going to help as far as teaching and getting the students more engaged. There's interactive videos. You can insert in web content, BBC videos, 3D. There's also a virtual field trip option that's there as well. In addition, you can see that there are quizzes and games, very interactive, similar to Kahoots and Quizits and things like that, but there's different ones that are personable to Nearpod, like Time to Climb is a very popular quiz game that kids and adults love. There's also places where you can do open-ended discussions where students can type in their responses, and the teacher can direct and share out the information or the data to the students via their iPad or their whatever they're using for their phone. Lastly, classroom design. This application can be used in a synchronous or synchronous distance learning or face-to-face. You can assign things to students, and students can basically do their own tutorials with the lessons. The next educational tool, BrainPOP, is also a very popular tool that a lot of teachers utilize in their classrooms. What makes BrainPOP different is it's a website, and it has videos and different subjects, not just for math, but science, English, language arts, and all of those things. So BrainPOP is very, very inclusive with different other subject areas. For BrainPOP, the asynchronous will only work if you have a school or a district plan, because the teacher plan only allows the teachers to utilize it as far as the activities. But if the district or the school orders, then students will be able to go home and use it, some of the same features as the teachers. Here, I just want to start off here. This is the home page. From here, you can see, as I mentioned before, BrainPOP is not exclusive to math, but it has lessons and activities for all of these subjects that you see here for all those different grade levels. It gives a plethora of information and resources for teachers and for parents to utilize and to go over with their students. The plans for BrainPOP varies. Similar to Nearpod, they have ones for the school district, one for homeschool, one for just a teachers, and the prices vary as well. If you get a family plan versus a home plan, if you get a plan that's exclusive for grades 3 to 8, or one that's for K to 3. They also have ESL and other French and Spanish BrainPOP as well. So this one stands out amongst the other resources that I've been privy to, in that it offers the resources in a different language. The BrainPOP, again, offers lots of resources for teachers. I'm actually going to go into my BrainPOP account so you can see some of the activities that you can deal with. So I'm going to focus on math. As you can see, these are all the subjects. And when you click on the subject, for math, it breaks it down to different areas such as algebra, geometry, probability. I'm just going to pick on algebra really quickly. Each topic has a video that's aligned to it. I'm just going to go to equations and variables. And within that, there's always a short video, 2 to 3 minutes, that are standards based.
In addition to the movie, you have other options that you can have students work with, or that you can assign as a teacher or work with in class. I personally use BrainPOP as a whole class instruction, or maybe in centers. I really like the quiz option. I'm going to click on this one. This makes it a little bit more interactive as well, as students can participate in a review. I do this as a whole class, as it gives the questions as a multiple choice, and the students can work together in groups, and I have the groups select the answers, maybe play 4 corners, and then the student can actually go up to the board to select their answer of choice. I'm just going to pick C, and it will let them know if it's wrong or if it's right, and it gives them some information that they can use to help them get the answer correctly. The other options are very nice because it elaborates on math outside of the regular setting of the classroom. We have related readings, we have graphic organizer. The related reasons is good because sometimes they deal with other subject areas such as history, science. They also have a real life component, and it makes it really student friendly because everything is in a cartoon or a character. caricature situation. So here's a cute little comic. Again, something that I would do whole class. You can assign this individually if they have student accounts, but as I mentioned before, the teacher account is the one that allows you to control the items and know what students can go to, or assign where students can go to in the class. The last resource I want to speak about is Kahoot. This is probably one of the more popular interactive programs that we can use. Again, starting with connectivity, it just requires internet access to access the website and its components. And this can be integrated with Windows, Android, and iOS. This is just a home page where you can see there's a lot of information for teachers. I like this section here where you can get question types. So traditionally, Kahoots have been basically multiple choice, but they have upgraded, and I'm actually going to take you through one of the different types of questions using slides that you can do. This does require you to upgrade your account. Speaking of your accounts, again, we have a different levels of activity that you can participate in, individual, school, and district. Here, the cheapest one is $3.99. This is actually a really good one, and it goes all the way up to the 10 for a discount. But they actually have a free basic one, which now I have because I don't use Kahoots as much, but it does allow you to do the traditional multiple choice games, but it doesn't allow you to edit. So if you want to try out Kahoot, I would definitely say start off with the free, and then if you want to upgrade, look into the teachers. The next thing I want to do is actually take you through the process of using Kahoots. Your classroom design, again, this can be where students work at home, you can assign, or it can be synchronous where it's distance learning or face-to-face. And so with the example I'm going to ask you guys to do as a team is you have two tasks. So the first task I'm going to practice here. This task is the one where you have a puzzle. I'm going to just put my name in, Edwin. And so this activity is around problem solving for math. So there's 5 steps to problem solving that we teach. And it's called the solve method, SOLVE. So the first task you will be participating in is with the puzzle. So the first step is called study the problem. So what you're going to do is align these in order, starting with the first activity up here with the last activity here. So for this one, we're arranging the steps for study the problem. So if you read the information, you can see that done is the last one. So I'm going to put that last. The first thing a student should do is read the problem. After they read the problem, they should underline the question and then ask themselves or rephrase the question by saying this problem is asking me to find the sum, or it's asking me to find the difference, or it's asking me to find whatever. So I'm going to submit that. And as you can see, I got all the answers correct. So again, this is called puzzle, different from the traditional multiple choice. But again, you're going to arrange the items in order from what you should do first at the top to what you should do last at the bottom. Okay? So I'm going to leave that. The last activity is going to deal with just the traditional Kahoots, where you're going to answer the questions. And again, it's dealing with the solve method, which is the problem solving strategy. I'm just going to put my name again, Edwin. So you can just see how this works. And all the links are there for you to participate. So this is just one of the examples for this one. This one has 19 questions. So we're going back to the S step. So the S step has different parts. So the S stands for see the problem, share the problem, study the problem, or simplify the problem. And it does stand for study the problem. So it will tell you if you got it right. And it keeps going like that. After reading the problem, the first step in the S is to underline, write down the question, memorize the question, or cross out the question. I'm just gonna, the right answer is underline the question. I'm gonna put out, cross out the question. So you can see that underline the question is the correct answer. A student would be able to see what they missed and know what the right answer is, especially when you assign this as a task for them to do. I want to use now the Triple E evaluation rubric to evaluate the tools that we just looked at. I will put a link for this in my information, but we have 3 categories of reading the results, the highest being with accumulation or sum of points of 13 to 18, and then we have 7 to 12, and then lastly the 6 or below. And then it gives you instructional strategies that you can use to make those particular apps that were lower, what you can do as a teacher to make those higher. So here are the ratings that I have given for the applications that I've spoken about: Nearpod, BrainPOP, and Kahoot. And again, these categories are engagement and learning, enhancement in the learning goals, and extending the learning goals. So for Nearpod, I gave it a 17, so it's in that green category. And then we have next the BrainPOP, which is again probably one of my favorites because of the instruction that teachers are able to give and the different types of differentiated instruction, teacher-led, that teachers can use. And then lastly, which I still think is great, but I think it's more performative based and getting kids to be engaged in the learning, is Kahoots with a total of 14. I would suggest again beefing up the instructional piece with this one. The formative assessments and the different types of way you can use the different question types is really good, but the instructional piece I think can be stronger for Kahoots. In order for our schools to be future ready in the 21st century, we must use educational technology. But the educational technology does not replace you as a teacher, as the facilitator of learning in the classroom, as the instructor to give differentiated instruction, the person to help evoke conversation and discourse within the classroom. All of the resources that I've mentioned before and the ones that I haven't mentioned play a vital role in the overall teaching or learning in your classroom, but gaming, gamification, educational technology should not and does not replace the human side of teaching and learning, which is the interaction between students and their teacher, and most importantly, students and themselves, in order for them to be prepared for the future, in order for them to be problem solvers, in order for them to be productive citizens in the future.